Another big day has come and gone, with the SEC recently disclosing a major narrative about XRP and Ripple. New developments may put XRP in a strong position to profit handsomely from Ripple, despite earlier attempts to derail it. As more and more analysts forecast that XRP's price may soon transcend prior limits, this situation is becoming more and more exciting. $30,000, 0 cents. Many people in the cryptocurrency ecosystem are talking about the recent SEC approval of an XRP futures ETF. As XRP makes the leap from the shadows of the courts to the bright lights of Wall Street, it will finally be acknowledged, much to the delight of its users. Having said that, the story is more complex than it first seems. The decision looks like a big step forward at first glance, but many people, like analyst John Squire, are warning that it might not be as big of a deal as people think. An exchange-traded fund, ETF, is essentially a financial tool that allows investors to acquire exposure to a security like XRP without actually owning it. It's like buying a ticket to a game instead of the asset itself. Interacting with it makes you feel like you're part of the action, even though it's indirect. Investors may now bet on XRP price changes without actually owning the tokens, thanks to a futures exchange traded fund, ETF, that the SEC has recently approved. This system essentially lets people bet on how much an asset will be worth instead than really making people want to buy it. Buying and holding physical XRP tokens is crucial for a spot ETF, as it boosts demand and decreases supply, which could lead to a price gain. Futures exchange-traded funds, on the other hand, show that XRP is being recognized by institutions, yet they do not change the underlying fundamentals of supply and demand, which could affect the price. Even though the futures ETF is still important, the price of the token is expected to rise substantially. People no longer view XRP as an asset with murky legal status, marking a significant change. Rather, it is merging with traditional finance, which is heavily impacted by enormous institutions like hedge funds and pension funds. Particularly in light of XRP's recent tweet, this development boosts credibility and exposure. The SEC seems to be going with the commodity classification for XRP. Chancellor Gold is also classified as a good or service. This claim represents a major change in perspective as it compares XRP to gold. People believe gold to be an immutable store of value since it is neither controlled by nor tied to any one government. Many people will be able to make transactions easier if XRP is widely accepted in the same way. It appears that XRP is entering a new phase, expanding its role in the modern financial system beyond just enabling monetary transfers or avoiding regulatory hurdles. This is a watershed event. As Crypto Geeks pointed out in a tweet that just said, the US SEC has accepted XRP as the introduction of a longer story. The paragraph is succinct and based on facts. The Rippler Jack helped with the domino effect will be severe. This could mean that an XRP ETF is on the horizon, among other potential ETFs. The huge institutional investment in XRP suggested by a spot ETF would undoubtedly impact price volatility because to the significant advantage it would bring. On the other hand, until then, this futures ETF is still an excellent investment. With its formal endorsement, XRP is now front and center in the financial industry, but before prices skyrocket and adoption takes off, the market needs more concrete news. A change seems to be taking place as XRP, which regulators formerly looked down on, is now considered on par with precious metals like gold. This is now about more than just the future of XRP is crucial, especially when more conventional financial institutions start to accept it. So far as this is concerned, the futures ETF might just be the beginning of something much bigger. Experts in the cryptocurrency field are very excited about the future of XRP and its potential developments, which could lead to some very surprising developments. Such possibilities are hard to ignore. Stay alert because what they say could change everything. The situation is turning interesting right now. Imagine you invested in Bitcoin back in 2011 when most people thought digital currency was a joke. This is the same way that some industry insiders are now describing SRP. If you buy SRP now, it will be like buying Bitcoin in 2011, according to Amunik. It might sound ridiculous before you look at the data. XRP is not taking flight again. It looks like it could repeat one of the fastest bull runs in cryptocurrency history. If a seasoned market analyst is right about XRP continuing its 2017 pattern, then prices could jump substantially like they did that year. The value of XRP jumped substantially, going from under a cent to about $40 over cents in a little over a year, more than 6,000% of the time. It's happening again. Since the price of $0.50 in November 2024, XRP has increased by 578%, reaching nearly $3.00 in January 2025. The coin has been strengthening, coiling like a spring, since this surge faced resistance as it has in prior occasions, suggesting that this is the second wave of an Elliott wave pattern of the third wave. If his chart is accurate and the technical framework holds, the rocket phase could be the most important part to keep an eye on. Between June and September of this year, XRP can see a spike to $270 a cent. But in what he calls wave 4, XRP might go to $5.00, or perhaps lower. According to EGRA, it is predicted that XRP will reach an incredible $120.00 in the final fifth wave, which is 5 times its current value. The market capitalization will be around $7 trillion, 0 cents, which is the same as gold. The high level of faith some analysts have in XRP's long-term potential is shown in the substantial assertion. The XRP community as a whole is likewise very excited about this possibility, while some, like crypto-based, have suggested a more reasonable $10.00, $12.00 goal for a current bull market. An XRP Avengers tweet claims the biggest green candle ever, and major advancements are happening all across the cryptocurrency sector. Sensei lost his cool. A $3,000 0 cents XRP might happen sooner than expected. And these aren't just optimistic guesses, claims through Twitter. Many think that XRP is becoming more than just a cryptocurrency battling regulations or trying to hang out with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's developing into a valuable asset with a strong market